pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Prettier from the minute that I met you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in between, and all over the world, thank you for joining us for what has been an incredible day of Ultimate, brought to you by the EUF in coordination with Solid Sport and Ulti TV for your viewing pleasure from the green grassy fields of Leuven. Can you hear the chants rising? So I think you could see the different ways teams express their intensity. Right now we're going to see Clapham take on Gentle in the Open semi-final. These two teams did meet in the pool stage yesterday. Clapham won 15-11. I have to point out at the start of this, Belgium are the new power in terms of rivaling GB, because European Ultimate in both club and international level has always been dominated by a partnership. GB and somebody trying to beat GB. It started off, it was the Finns, then it was the Swedes, then I think that was taken by the Swiss. French kind of dipped in there a little bit, but never really did anything. Then from the Swiss, it was the Germans. So that's the 90s to the noughties to the 2010s, start of the 2010s, the Germans, the Italians, for a little while kind of rose up, but they got barred back down. The Irish were just a little flash in the pan, and that came out. And for the last 2 years, it's been the Belgians. We've seen Clapham lock horns with the Mooncatchers of the World Championships. We've seen the EUCF play out last year between key Belgian and GB teams. In obviously EUC last year, the final, Belgium and GB. I'm talking just about the Open Division now. I have been throughout this whole little rant I'm going on. And it just shows you the next challenger up, and some of them land a few blows, some of them bloody the nose, but that consistent monolith, that presence is Clapham. So now Gentle, who their best result in Europe ever was a bronze back in 2021. They lost to Clapham in the semi-final in one of the best tiered games I'd ever seen in my life. But here they come, the widely regarded, and correctly in my mind, bad guys of Ultimate, because look, excellence breeds hate, right? And by describing them as that, all I'm doing is giving them a well-deserved compliment. Disc, middle of the pitch. Harry Ogden spreads it across to East and back into the middle. That was Tyler East is 19, Josh East is 22, and there's a quick pop. Don't want to force it, understandably, Harry Ogden. There's a quick cut right back into the open space. Moriano has been fantastic over the last 2 years for this Clapham side as they captured their title. Connor McHale, you may know him from his business online. And Tyler East makes the cut to get the finish. I mean, professional, right? Tyler East, number 19, only 19, coming from Warwick originally. He is a chef and is not only known as a defensive cutter, but you can see the way Clapham, they like to blood their younger players. They like to bring people up through the ranks, using these early tournaments to give them a lot of different chances. And you can see why. Look, we all know who Conor McHale is. He's pretty well established. We can start getting into his very impressive resume, or his somewhat impressive business. No, that seems mean. You should check it out if you're interested in getting better. Coaching tips. But Clapham, just working it down the pitch and showing that British excellence that has dominated the upper echelon of European Ultimate since European Ultimate's inception. I tried to give you a little snapshot there, but they're just such a consistent power. And even when Clapham stumble, which I guess you could call what they did in 2022 stumbling, they bounce right back and they win again. And yes, maybe not super happy with that poll or the result of GB. Last year at the European Championships, a lot of these Clapham players represent the Open team at the national level. You've got to respect how consistent a problem they are for everybody else. So let's see how Gentle respond to this problem. Gentle, one of the most fun teams to watch play. I mean, the Belgians, they used to play with like this laissez-faire attitude. Now, obviously, they've tightened up. They take things a lot more seriously these days. But at the same time, they can throw a couple of little spicy things when called upon to do so. So let's see how they react. This is looks like a bit of a wall zone. Right there, it looks like a flat cup. Yeah, this is a wall zone. They're going with a 3-2-3. Does that equal? No, 3-2-2. So you can see 5 there. That just about got around. It is very difficult to see the numbers of the Gentle team in this light. There's a big pass all the way down the far sideline. Looks to centre it back in. So you can see Gentle, they want to swing. Going for the hammer. There's that little laissez-faire I was talking about. You see Clapham are trying to shut down anything other than a lateral swing. I assume with the intention of trapping them on a sideline. The wind is going from left to right. You can see by that flag just on the halfway line. That's a nice little bit of play. And the light changed ever so slightly, so I can tell that that's Jakim Hrušák sending it back into the middle. Forgive me. So Gentle are really get under a lot of pressure, and they were stuck in that corner. I thought their expansiveness with their retinue of throws would maybe stop them from getting trapped, but you could tell Clapham really wanted to trap him on that side. And it's worked out quite well. That's Charlie Butt giving it to Hillman. Hillman doesn't want the deep shot, although I did think I'd expect to see more deep shots from Clapham if they're following on their approach. Never, always keep in mind, a lot of people using this tournament to prepare for Worlds. It might seem a long way off in 2026, but it's always coming. But goes to the inside, somehow is able to get there to East. I'm not entirely sure how that worked out. Yeah, East is letting himself be known. Great grab by Hillman. Dan Hillman getting low. And there's East, cuts to the front corner. Nice work on the mark to not let that break off. There's the flick straight into traffic. Great recovery from Gentle to get the disc back. Now it was Boomalal who got the D, has the disc there, sends it down the line. So Gentle, they don't want to force too much, just taking their time. David Novak, see the Eastern European connection. Hrušák and Novak playing with Gentle. Gentle are a real clubs club. We're 300 players currently enrolled in their youth program. Boomalal. They're keeping with seeming like a 4-person vertical stack downfield, trying to isolate cutters. Clapham pride themselves on training that all the time, but great throws. Really nicely done by Gentle, and they get it on the second time. A little bit risky, but Vincent van der Woede there to finish it off, as we have another look. Maybe Charlie Butt giving up a bit too much. That's still a fantastic throw. I think that's mostly down to just a fantastic throw. Clapham are going to try and trap you in those small open-sized boxes right in front of your thrower. But if you're able to attack that space and then throw yourself immediately out of it with that kind of skill, it's not the worst thing in the world to happen to you. That was Wolf Oosterlink with the assist, so a lovely throw. Less accurate on that hat toss. Trying to get that disc back across. So Gentle will get another chance. Gotta say, on the first point, their D-line got worked. Just hard cutting, good movement, well-timed spacing by Clapham. That's very difficult to cover, and if it's athletes doing it, it's nearly impossible. So let's see how they respond. Coming back at you, Cleopatra. It's a nice little cut into the open space. Henry Brooking wanted the deep, doesn't go for it. You can hear the ooze from the sideline. Hillman again fakes the deep, doesn't go for it. Brooking goes down the line. That he collects. Looks front corner, goes break instead. And making it look awfully easy right now. Clapham, that O-line is tuned to perfection. Harry Ogden picked up the final catch. A lot of credit to Henry Brooking. He really took over that point. But, watch. He gets us in a power position. You're naturally going to think, cut to the front corner. That cut, I can't make out who made it. That cut to the front corner opens up the entire end zone. And that's something Clapham do better than anybody else in Europe, which is cut for each other. When you watch teams, especially teams like, say, Disconnection in the mixed division, and how they time all their cuts off each other so someone's always feeding somebody else, that's really, really well done. Clapham can do that, but something else they do is, because they recognize what a threat those evil black jerseys are, every move they do has to be reacted to by the defense. If it isn't, it's an open player who gets hit. So then they run these plays to attack space, to dislodge defenses, draw their attention, and clear out, and then just trust their throwers to take the easy option that's left over. That's 2 long, flawless holds by the Clapham O-line. So, how did Gentle respond? They returned on their first point, playing... That seems like a slightly different zone. I can't tell if it's... Yeah, that was riskier than I thought it would be, but I knew it was coming. I mean, I'm happy. If I'm watching Gentle, I think that's the way they should be playing. You know, you want to try that stuff, you're going to be paid for it. Although they certainly made David Novak work, and they're going backwards now. So it was a match defense by Clapham. Just a bit of poach in the open lane. They recognised it, got it across. Boomalel back into the middle, wants it back. Sends it back into the middle. And there's the big deep shot. They've got people downfield looking for him. Nice defensive pressure. I think Arthur Van de Wey, who's one of the best players on this Gentle team, a bit frustrated at himself. Henry Brooking, who played brilliantly in these last 2 points. I know we're early in the game. That's a big D. You're getting one of the hardest defensive assignments, and you just ran the offense previously. Obviously, Clapham, you can tell, not really going with dedicated O and D lines. I mean, right now it just seems like East, Brooking, Hillman, they're like, just keep going. Saying no to that deep shot, a little speculative. I thought Joshua East was free, but they sent it back. Ian McInerney. Down the line, that is Butt. And back across. Ian McInerney with one of the most exact and precise descriptions for pronouncing his name. Probably still going to get it wrong on purpose. McInerney has options coming back to him. Sees him, feeds him. There's... Oh man, they really are faking me out a lot with these deep shots. They really convince you with the fake. Wouldn't mind seeing them actually throw one. Harry Ogden. You see they're happy to just work in these open spaces. McInerney. I mean, that's not a hook. That's over the top looking for Butt. Brilliant grab. And I would personally check if Butt's butt was in bounds, but they seem happy to let it go. So you see McInerney gets it. That's a high release flick, technically. Scoops it over the top of Van de Wey. Great grab by Charlie Butt. If that white line is the back of the end zone, I think he landed out of bounds. It's not the back of the end zone, though. The goal's the back of the end zone. That's dangerous. It might be slightly before the goal's going off that yellow cone, actually. Yeah. Okay, he was well in. He was well in. But if it was earlier in the day, I feel like I could come up with a better play on those words. But let's just talk about Clapham, apart from that one last throw, which was, just a little bit risky, a little bit frisky for the fans at home. I mean, it's pretty consistent excellence from them, right? I mean, the D-line got that one chance and threw it right back into traffic. It was Boomalel who wound up getting it back. That was nicely done by Gentle clamping down in front of the end zone. But for the most part, it's just this tireless cutting, running really, really hard. You've got to imagine there's a lot of American influence how they approach their training, and that's probably not worth the subscription price, if I'm honest. The wind is picking up, and McHale was going for a rolling pull. He was kind of rolling it, I would argue, towards the wrong sideline to go for in that situation. So within half. That's Aaron Van de Wey. He floats it back into the middle. Big arcing backhand. That is brilliant. Visionary stuff to spread it across the pitch. Now they're on the opposite sideline. Looking, trying to find something. They're forced to go all the way back. Bear in mind they started this offense on the near sideline, but about this far into their opponent's half. So Clapham really limiting downfield options and forcing hard work from the handlers. That took a big grab. Really nicely measured. And thrown back around. Harley's backhand over the top, and that's always out of bounds. So we love the effort. We respect the commitment from Veriken. Sorry. He was never in bounds, and there's going to be a stall out called. It shows how much pressure Clapham are putting their opponents under. Clapham so far in this tournament, closest they've been pushed was in their opening game 15-14 against Wall City. The last time they played JC, he would have been out of bounds going for it. Great effort though, Ben Veriken. The last time these two met, which was yesterday, Clapham started with 4 points unanswered. Gentle were able to pick up a couple of breaks over the rest of the game. Clapham hit him with another run, and then kind of, I think, took their foot off the gas a little bit towards the end. And Clapham immediately going with the deep shot, sending it, looking for Joshua East, but all he's going to find is the big body of Benjamin Zuatz. I think Gentle are more than happy to have that happen. That's landed to Clanny, who picked it up and sent it long. He's been really good this tournament. He's known for being a real spirit of the team leader. In terms of energy, keeping everyone happy. Clanny sends it back into the middle. That's such an important thing to have. Doesn't seem Tyg Bogan-Carey's giving him a lot of room to play with. Probably afraid of his deep going potential. Bogan-Carey, one of the better deep defenders. As we see the Clanny go back to it. He's just making every second cut at this point. Nice inside low break. And that one's stolen away. A little bit of frustration by East. As here come Gentle, just popping it, jumping in and getting the score. That was a nice assist from Veriken. Is that Van der Woede got the score? I don't know if any of you heard the exclamations. Look at how close Clapham are getting. And then they still try to hold you off and keep you to stand outside the end zone, but really nice follow through. Gentle able to get the score. Yeah, that was a Veriken to Van der Woede. So that makes it 3-2. Big pull coming up. So Clapham 3-2 to the good. They've gotten a break. One break. As we watch that sail out of bounds. So McHale's going to take that right in the middle of the pitch. Big active force. I like to see that. Just go open side under. Ooh, that's a little bit physical. I don't think Van Bogart meant to kind of kick the knee out of Charlie Butt there, but oh, that's not Charlie Butt. The sun's making it very hard, is it? Nicely down the line, so they keep working hard. They're not flummoxed. Harry Ogden. McHale. And for all your fancy work on the force, you can't stop getting broken. Modiano all the way around. This is lightning quick play. Tom Davies back to Modiano. Modiano goes to the break to McHale. They're right outside the end zone. Modiano clears up the line and somehow McHale gets it to him. Oh, that's American. To be able to throw Hirely's lefty backhand that quick. I've seen a few of them today. A few people I've been very impressed with, especially on Nullet. You can go back and watch that. Let's just have another look here. I think the defense does such a good job on Modiano. I would hit him there if they try to turn with him because they expect the bounce. What an incredible throw. Simoons. Yeah, I think your only option there is to bosh him a little bit and try and force him physically back. Although if he hits, he's going to bounce off you and get it. Probably swing around to the other side. There's not a lot you can do. Just kind of got to stay ready. Okay, another. Maybe the wind is a lot stronger than I'm giving it credit for. Kind of look at the trees there and see what you think's happening. Van de Wey. So much pressure, but that means somebody's free. If you see three people around you like that, you've got to find the space. You've got to get out of there. Back to Van de Wey. Arthur. Van de Wey. Takes a couple of throws I think he has in his locker. And they go back. Van de Wey just getting forced back all the time. They are not putting enough effort into clearing their cutters downfield. And then they're just forced to play in this half zone because Clapham don't commit all the way on and under to let the leading pass back downfield. They just commit and then kind of, it's a very limitation almost at halfway. You can see they're playing poach where they can, trying to pick up on the unders, looking for the big shot around, but wise to it the entire way is the form of James Hijaya, I think, sorry. So James Hijaya, big recognition, looking for Van de Wey, but Clapham. It's great switching, and then where they're exposed through the switching are quite difficult long-range throws that it seems like Gentle didn't want to take on. I thought there was definitely room to throw it past Bogan Carey. So what Gentle need to do in their cutters is recognize the kind of limitation defense that Clapham are putting on them, and then starting to try to cut in pairs. One person, I'm going to try and pick up both the defenders and leave a space one way or the other for you. And now they're being reduced to cutting in its individuals a lot, as that one goes all the way around to Tyg Bogan Carey. Leads him there or thereabouts, but it'll do. Tyler East. There's the big call to send it right back into the middle in the waiting hands of Andrew Hillman. Andrew Hillman, probably the more recognizable Hillman. But that's Dan Hillman collecting it, and that's... Look, Wijaya, he got you a D. He'll give you one back. It's not unheard of. Van de Wey, back. And there's the huge hook, but that's a desperation hook. Throwing it in. That might be collected on the other side. Huge effort by Josh East to deny the streaking form of Wolf Oosterlink from getting there. That was a close one. So that is a look, that's a clampdown defense that Clapham do so well. They're just ratcheting up pressure right now. And there's an understandable timeout from Gentle. Or from Clapham even. 4-2, couple of turnovers. Want to make sure they knock this one in. So right now, the reigning European champions looking every inch the gold standard that they are. Perfectly decked out in their black jerseys. We will see if the wonderful Belgians from Ghent can find a way back into this matchup, as it is currently Clapham 4, Gentle 2.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it!
We're back, everybody, and checking out some top quality Ultimate action here in the semi-finals of the Elite Invite in Leuven. But every match is one you want to see. I mean, it's a high bar just to be invited. And we've seen a high standard of Ultimate right now, Clapham playing at about as high a level as it gets. With the confidence to keep going. Dan Hillman sends that down the far sideline. Just wants some options, but nicely stolen through by Gentle. And again, they keep their heads up. They look for those inside passes. They're going to become available. You play the man in front of you. You don't play the jersey. And a lot of people beat themselves up. A lot of people defeat themselves going down a few against Clapham. But you play the man in front of you. It's Boomalal. Sends it back. Sends it back almost immediately. Into the middle of the pitch. And there you can see Hillman trying to steal off and help out. They're always keeping their heads up, looking for where they can have the maximum impact. Rushek dumped that. And there's the quick step up and score. Van de Wey makes sure this time. Nicely done. So you have another look. That's Rushek. Throws it back, taken by Moons. And a nice little hop skip from Van der Wey. So that makes it 4-3. Clapham call a timeout and then throw it into some traffic. And Gentle get the hold. So here come Gentle. They need a break. He started the game on offense. You never really want to have to do that against Clapham, because it means you will have to get an extra break. That's the balance in Ultimate. If you are able to get a score as coming out on defense in the first half and carry that lead into the second half, you get a free extra opportunity to score. So you can make your lead double. But it's a risk because you need to score in the first half. If you don't get that defensive point in the first half, by the time it gets to the second point, you inherently need one more break than your opponent to win the game. You're surprised how many games get decided by that. Mikhail sets it. I thought that was a power position, but seemingly fairly reluctant to huck right now. Ogden gets that down the line to Modiano. Modiano goes for Ogden to go down the line again. I suppose if you keep getting free going up the line, why would you stop doing that? And then Modiano. I mean, they're basically cupping right now. That means there's going to be a free body they got to work. Nice work by Joshua East. Goes with the much harder flick break inside, and that was just inside the end zone for Tom Davies. Close one. There's only so much you can stop, and Clapham can basically do everything. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Okay, that doesn't happen by accident 3 times. It just doesn't. Not to Clapham. They are purposefully pinning their opponent on a sideline close to their own end zone and then setting up this open side cut and trying to trap and almost working out perfectly. Boomalal is able to get it in the end. Spread across and scoop back in. Nicely pop back. So you'll need to keep working the break side a bit more effectively now. Back into the center. And all the way across, huge layout bid, doesn't come up with it. Does come up with a little bit of knee. There's another leading pass. There's so much pressure on these shoulders. And there's going to be an injury called on Hrušák. It's Joachim Hrušák. I think Gentle would have wanted to hold on to him. 24-year-old, originally from Prague. Brilliant gent studying chemistry. Now we see Benjamin Verikin come in. And Mikhail coming on for Tyler East. A nice little handshake there between Hrušák and East, just happening slightly off camera. Nobody means these things. Oh, and absolutely nobody's covering Boomerang. That was pretty easy for Verikin. You can see he just casually walks along. I would expect teams to celebrate getting a break on Clapham a little bit more than that. I suppose there's the chant. So, just watch Boomerang. I think he's being marked by Dan Hillman. And Hillman lets him go because he thinks someone is in that space. So Clapham are working on this almost air positional marking, and then they're able to pass off responsibility as people work through it, which is zonal to an extent, but they play it with such a shoulder marking intensity that it's more closer to match, but really vocal, high switching focus. And at the highest level, that's how you have to play defense. At the highest level, without that much wind, that's the only way you'll ever play defense, because if you're perfectly equal as athletes, the offense will always win. You need mistakes to capitalize on the defense, and in an equal battle, the defense can never initiate those mistakes in just one-on-one. But by passing each other off, by helping cover those, it can be a lot more effective as Modiano gets the disc. Huge shot straight away. They haven't gone deep too often, but when they do, they've got time and space to do it. Incredible throw. Joshua East, I mean, he was showing off just a little. They were showing off just a little bit. Joshua East, history at Lemmings and Mighty Hawks, as well as Clapham. Also played under 17, under 20, under 24, and is a semi-pro footy referee. And Conor McHale has the space, has the time, and just puts it on a platter. Now look, I was giving out a little bit earlier on because I don't like the putting your hand by your knee thing as a celebration for skying someone. I do love the running onto a clap catch huck with your arms out celebration, and that's more of a dick move, right? Because you do it before you've completed the score. So, oh! I see what I got wrong. I thought that score to make it 5-4 was a break that Verikin came on and finished off to Boubilal. It was not. It was a hold. So it is 6-4 to Clapham right now. And again, all right, let's break this down, right? They're throwing it in between the halfway line and their own break mark on the sideline, clearly on purpose. Van de Wey. And then they try to set up this poachy zone, and it almost immediately works. Okay, I can't really tell from that scale. That was a quick chase down by Brooking. I've been very impressed with him. Van de Wey sails it through, and was that Wijaya who got the D? I think it was. Hillman. That was just shoulder to shoulder. There's the quick run down the line. Two people free in the open channel. Tom Davies is the one who gets it. And he gets hand blocked for his efforts. There's going to be a call. It's just a conversation happening between Tom Davies and David Novak. David Novak, of course, another name that probably rings out pretty loud. Also from Prague, much like Hrušák. He is the head of Treasury. Jidar Nad Zazavu? Just gonna give that a go for his native hometown. Currently based in Prague. Obviously, he's played with the Czech Republic. Fui 3SB, you know, those classic Czech teams. Playing for Gentle in Ghent now. So the Belgians are attracting the talent. Brooking. Oh, that stall count is getting higher all the time, but just stays patient, eventually finds butt. Now we're on this sideline here, and Davies is looking. Just sends it back in the middle comfortably as well. Butt almost wants to give him the break right back, but sits low into that one for Brooking. Brooking pops that in quickly for Hillman, and that's a break. 7-4. I think such a huge thing about this is how they keep each other hyped. They keep screaming, and it's just so much intensity, so much work. I really think Gentle need to start laying some chests into people. Otherwise, you're not going to be faster than Clapham. This is what these people do with their lives. And in the way that the same could be said for Gentle, Gentle have 300 people involved in their youth program. Clapham have 3,000 youths who think about playing for them, right? Like if I'm basically guessing every under 20-year-old in the UK and Ireland, probably a good enough smattering of them around Europe, unless they're close to one of the other major contender population centres, you know. It's easier for you to get to Bologna, go play with Cusp. It's easier for you to get to play with the other bigger teams. Like maybe it's easier for you to get to Brussels, play with Mooncatchers. I've seen a couple of Dutch people make that trip recently, but Gentle have built this incredible program that has to be praised. And then on the other side of it, and I've brought this up a few times to talk about Clapham going up to some of their opponents. Clapham have built this amazing brand that everybody wants to attain. And that's a very American approach. I'm not in any way criticizing it. It's incredibly impressive achievement. And to an extent, kind of what you have to do, right? In order to compete at the very, very highest level. Like, one of the things I heard years ago was Clapham describing themselves is when we have training and we have our scrimmage at the end of training, we believe there's no reason why that shouldn't be the highest level of game happening in the world in that moment. Why isn't that the highest level of training? And that's a great thing to aspire for, because winning Europe doesn't mean you're at the highest level in Ultimate. And if that's what you want, if you want to win Worlds, which we know a lot of European teams do, and 2 to 3 actually have a pretty decent shout. Here's a switch over the top. Nicely done. That's one of the great mindsets of it. Goodness, that is a lot of shutdown work being done by Dan Hillman. Eventually they get it off and he finds Duarts, but a lot harder than I think he anticipated. That's led just down the line. It's right in front of the end zone. Hrušák goes back. Van de Wey. Okay, that was Aaron Van de Wey. Spreads it across. Oosterlink. Moans. He's going to have to go back to Oosterlink. And there's a quick throw right through the middle to Hrušák. That's better. Gets it back. Hrušák. And there's the shot around the space. Nicely done. I like that by Gentle. Suck in all that attention. Clapham want to pressure you so bad. Let them. And as they get sucked in, just send a cutter around the group and throw. When you look at your screen, look at how many black shirts are in that immediate square around the handler. Really great response by Gentle for the hold. Still need to get a few breaks to in this, but as we have another look, just great little back and forth play. Van de Wey, Hrušák really sitting in the linchpin area of it, which is great to see, obviously, after going off injured earlier in the game. So that was Aaron Van de Wey throwing to Arthur Van de Wey for the score. Nice little connection. Very good players. So there's the big pull, and you can see just the considerable difference in the pull. Hillman. And again, Clapham do it on purpose. Here's Pretty standard. What does that look like? A 3-2-2? Or almost even a 3-3-1? Let's see how Clapham deal with it. Mikhail, I mean, he's seen just about every kind of zone that exists. Andrew Hillman all the way across to Joshua East. Back to Hillman. Back to East. They, there's two of each of them on the team, so forgive me. Ogden, he's really putting himself on the map. Like somebody built a monorail downtown. Mikhail. 6 gentle players on the field or on the screen at the same time. That's generally not a great sign for a zone. They're going upwind. There's the hammer over the top, comfortably taken. Big layout bid. That was probably your best chance you were going to get. Modiano. Back to Mikhail. That was the Krana. You do expect that from him. Should be 2 of them on the team roster too, but... Oh, that's a fantastic lead pass. Mikhail bids! He was out of bounds. I think we're going to ask. We're going to have to ask. Leads. I can't tell. He goes for the toe drag, and it's definitely something he's capable of, but I think he was too far away from the disc for gravity to allow you to keep your foot on the ground and your chest off the ground while making that catch. He needs to be in... okay, he's going to let that go. Let's have one more look. Let's just... Oh, I think that's in. I think that might be in. But great spirit. Letting it go. I would add the caveat, if this was a European semi-final, I don't think he's letting that go quite as quickly. It's going back for a contest, definitely. But at this point, Clapham clearly here's a training exercise. I mean, everybody is, right? Gentle, there's the woo. But the important thing to remember is the zone got a turn. Tefran trying to get free in the middle. Nothing happening. You can see them switching. You've got to work as pairs. You've got to pull the defender out of there. Tyler East is hoping to just sit in the open under space and not have to worry about anything. You need to punish that. There's the big shot. And that's... Oh no, it's too far. I think he lost it. That's Peter-Jan de Molenaar. Certified European Ultimate Legend. And one of the hardest men to miss with a huck in the world. So Mikhail gets to pick it up and face the jaws of that zone. Immediately, just throws it along the line. I'm just going to get that out of here. Gets it across to Hillman, gets it back. Some nice swinging, and this is smart, just swing. Make the front of the zone move a little bit. You're looking to throw around the edges if you can. But the consistent movement, there you go, suck in the cup. Hit the far sideline. Just no need to force anything. There will always be an open person. That's a tough throw, but, maybe not for Andrew Hillman. And there's Mikhail. Now they're starting to throw nice diagonal passes. These are high difficulty throws, but with enough practice, you can make them pretty consistently. Modiano, see, he could have just thrown that straight away to McInerney, but instead he leads him. And then McInerney just feeds Mikhail. Textbook zone offense. Textbook zone offense. So as they swing, you pull the cup further and further apart, and as you pull the cup further and further apart, you can do one of two things. You can throw through the holes that appear in a diagonal, much like Clapham did there about halfway through the point. Or, if you would prefer, you can collapse the cup by attacking it physically with the middle handler, which you can either then pop it to them if they're available, and they'll jump through the rest of the cup and have an open field, or you can take the swing to what should now be a very available far side handler. That's a harder throw. You're going to need to make sure it's an experienced person with a disc in their hands, but, playing against a zone, that's what you're going to have. So, experience will come to the fore in the second half of this matchup. Gentle are far from out of it, but they've got a good distance to go to catch up. Will they be able to? Well, join us after the break to find out, as it is Clapham 8, Gentle 5.
Get there. Yes, he will. The lovely day.
Gather up your best ideas. Gather up your bravest men. Once more into the breach we go. One last half here on Saturday at Spring Invite, the Elite Invite in Leuven 2024. It's a beautiful day in Belgium, and there's some beautiful souls joining us for this stream. Thank you so much on behalf of Solid Sport OTTV and the EUF. I am Lorcan Murray, and it is my distinct pleasure to bring you the second half of action as Gentle of Ghent go up against Clapham from London. The team I maintain should be called Clapham Common. I just think that's cool. Gentle. Again, you can see this new focus from the zone, or from Clapham. It's very interesting. I like it. And Boomalal, you can see they're trying to poach, they're trying to just share partnerships at the front of the stack. So is that Butt? Yeah, Butt was just sitting there for a while until he couldn't anymore. That's better by Gentle. Attack in pairs, draw the attention, use the space. Really nice work by Gentle. The thing about this Clapham defense is it's not going to work forever. It's only going to work for a while until teams start to work out how to attack it effectively. But then at which point you've got to adapt again, right? Yeah, that's found away. Lovely blade flick. Just going to send out a quick request if any fans of Gentle are watching. It is literally impossible to read your jersey numbers in the sunshine. So, yeah. Just a little note. Do with it what you want. So Gentle, get the hole coming out at half. Probably, I assume, that's landed the crown. No, he was going to send that one. A lot of people probably wondering, where's Toby? Well, I imagine most people who are watching this in Sporting Gent know where he is. There is another Declana, who is incredible, was such a force for Belgium at Euros last year, such a force with Gentle as well. He is currently, I believe, in the AUDL in America, playing for Montreal Royals? Something to that effect, right? There's a brick. Conor McHale calling it. Almost a brilliant putt. Modiano immediately cutting across. Big bid. Little bit of a backpack. Don't love that. Modiano shoots. Love the double layout. Neither of them working. On the other end, collected comfortably. Phenomenal work by Joshua East. Understandable frustration. At some point, Gentle are going to need to lay out without going through an Englishman. That's another thing. Probably address that before you address the jersey numbers, okay? There's intensity, and then there's recklessness. Alright, that's about as close as you get. That was pretty safe, in fairness. I say that as a notoriously reckless player myself. So, fantastic grab. It's Modiano to Joshua East. Modiano has been incredible all tournament long. He's currently came to 5 assists, 7 goals, and in this game, I think that might be his first assist of this game. Yeah, that's his first assist. He also got a goal. But Clapham, they like to spread it around. Apart from Conor McHale, who seems to have taken over key handling duties. I don't know the inner workings of their club. I'd be curious to see if Joshua Briggs is there. Okay, this is clearly they're practicing something. Now, I don't know if they're practicing it specifically for it to be situational, or if it's a matter of when we desperately need a turn. We've worked out giving them the whole pitch gives them too many options. Throw them in this one hyper-specific option, and then just drill how to defend this option so we can get to a point where this is a guaranteed turnover, basically. And it requires throws like that to get out of it. Leading throws to handlers. But also, as a consequence, there seems to always be someone free somewhere in a match It's Boomalal there. It's picked up now. That's Davies on Boomalal. They seem to be crowding him a bit too much. No idea how he was able to rescue that one. And there, that was a laser flick. Van de Wey stood strong and just took the contact into his back. Look, it's a two-way street. Maybe these guys are agreeing a level of contact they're comfortable with, and that's entirely up to them. Bop! Popped on! Fantastic stuff, and definitely on purpose. Van de Oude knocks it over to Oosterlink. I think that's how that worked. Yeah, Oosterlink's definitely the one who got the goal. Nice hammer over the top. Just about worked out. The pop takes it out of the way of the defender. Sure, look, they count. They all count. DTN de force. You can see in there. So, that's Boomalal. So that's Oosterlink making the cut to the back. That's who it's intended to go to. And I think if that doesn't get touched by Vincent van der Oude, then Bogan Carey lays out and gets D. I think. Look, sometimes things work out, right? That's how I would describe most of my life. 9-7, still trading. Look, there wasn't a big bloodletting run by Clapham to start this game like there was in the pool stage, but they're just diligently going about their work. They've got 2 breaks so far. One in the first... Oh, they're both in the first half, sorry. One to make it 3-1, one to make it 7-4. Gentler trading, they're just about sticking around, but... It's a Clapham that came here with very set things they wanted to drill. So this isn't them at full extension either. I suppose it's neither is it of Gentle as there's a full extension. Massive hook. Oh, that's going to sit forever. If it stays in, then East is good. Unfortunately, that wind was a bit too westerly. Hey! See, it's very difficult when there isn't somebody to tell me to shush in the booth next to me. Normally I get a look from the colour commentator. Or the play-by-play, depending on which seat I'm in. But I normally get a look when I make those jokes, and it's kind of just derisive enough to tell me to calm it down without completely removing my spirit. However, there's nobody here! It's just me! Yes, we do love Eurodiscs. I agree, person on the sideline. Eurodiscs are the best kind of discs. Just like European unions are the best kind of unions. Of civil and state. To Kalana. Nice snap through. Now we're on this near sideline. So quick play by Gentle. Moving it along. Shot through the middle. And there, nice one leading. Defense makes the first bid. And just enough done in the end by Henry Brooking. I would give him a block for that. He put an awful lot of pressure on his opposite, oh, it's not his opposite number, his contiguous number, Wolf Oosterlink. And Wolf's fantastic player. This Henry Brooking is probably my breakout player of this game that I've seen. Layouts, he's reasonably fast. Came from Bristol originally, and you know that rat is just eager to gnaw on anything you put in front of him. Oh, that worked. I did not think that was going to work. I am sorry, Mikhail. There's the touch, but that's not enough. Joshua East chased it down. He's got options in front of him. Brooking is one of them. And then he shoots to the wide open Ian McInerney. Made that look very easy. That worked out, didn't it? Originally from Portland, Maine, Ian McInerney, that's his second stat of this game. He is a software engineer. And he's currently learning French. Very nicely done. You may be wondering, okay, so he comes from Portland, Maine. Don't really know anything about that. All the Portlands I've heard of happen on the west coast of America. But he did play for New York City Blueprint, 2019 to 2022. Played for John Doe before that. His best achievement, beating number 1 ranked Amherst in a game to go in 2015. Ended up playing with many of the Amherst players on Blueprint and have never let them forget it. Which I think is nice in 2 ways. One, it shows, that giant killing always feels great. And then the best thing about achievements is getting to mock people with them. Hold it over people's heads, right? That's the only reason I try it, anything. So There's some motivation for the kids watching. Boomalal, you want some more motivation for the kids watching. This guy's a tireless worker in the handler space. Makes a lot of consistent, correct decisions as well. Doesn't try to take on too much. Watch now as he gets it back and hugs it deep. So, I think it's worth noting that Clapham actually went back to a normal pull this time. So, interesting to me. Novak gets it back to Boomalal. And into the centre and swinging it quickly. There's it. The uprushing handler cut. I think that would be really effective against this. And then there's the arc all the way around. That is a beautiful shot to Novak for the goal. This is better from Gentle. I think they're starting to solve this Clapham defence. Starting to recognise where the space is. There's a lot of phenomenal throwers on this Gentle team. But they were just getting pressured so much earlier in the game. Here you see that uprushing handler move. Keep going. Don't let the defense settle. Don't let them start picking out their targets. Keep them reactive. Great stuff. It'll open up shot like that because they can't respond in time. Hrushak to Novak. Check. Check. So 10-8. The separation between the two teams remains the 2 breaks that Clapham got. Whereas Clapham receiving the disc now 2 up because they started the game on offense. De Cranny rips one. And Mikhail collects middle of the pitch. Gentle, a little bit of a poachy match there almost. Nice cut straight down, Modiano. Modiano is battling against a very physical force from De Molineux. But I respect that. You put PJ on Oscar exactly for that reason. Because he's got big boots. And they're made for walking. No, they're also made for running and jumping. Let's see how Gentle capitalise on this. The second turn they've gotten off of Clapham, I think. It's just going to need a second as everybody just checks. Did that disc survive De Molineux's foot? Oof. Conor McHale makes up for it. Brilliant work. Honestly, I thought he got roasted. The throw didn't come in time. And now he just sends one. He's feeling himself. And Clapham are feeling like this game is over. Great chase down by that man I keep coming back to, Henry Brooking. Look, full disclosure, I live in Bristol, so I'm not trying to unduly big him up. I tell you, I'm really impressed. Really impressed with that rat. I suppose he's a frog now, right? Conor McHale, dump defense. Executed excellently. Has the layout. It's ready for it. The problem, that's a great sit throw as well. Just puts it out there and look, all you're going to do is chase that down. Not much that Arthur van der Wey could do. I do think in that position you have to commit more than that. You have to make Conor McHale, if you just let him stay in his agile, hoppy 1-2 steppy thing and try to attack his back that way, you're going to have a tough time. You got to take at least 3 steps in a direction and try to get him to commit some bit of his agility to it. Then you can turn and lose him. And even then, I do think they kind of lost him a little bit, but the throw was slightly too late. By the time you go for it on the second clutch, opportunity's gone. Well, they're back to this kind of defense. Shot straight down the line. Right back into the middle. Very nicely done. That's DeForce. He wants it back. He's trying to work. There's a lot of face marking by this Clapham team. It's really nice end zone switching and clamping. Zuzek. Van der Wey. Boomalal. That's why I don't think this is going to work for too long. I think what they're training here is a weapon. I think it's we need a break now. And there's a technique that I learned from Seattle Mixtape, which is you always want to keep something in your back pocket across your season. I learned this when they pulled it out in 2022 at the US Nationals in the semi-final. They threw on a zone. the second third of the game that they'd never played before. They'd been training it. They'd never shown it to anybody before. It came out of nowhere. They got a turn, vital turns. This team just didn't know what to do with it. You can see Gentle starting to know what to do with this Clapham defense.
Let's go, Clapham!
So big pull by the Gentle boys. Neglected. That looked like a side stack by Clapham. That's definitely a side stack. So they're trying out a couple of different things. Offensive looks. Best place to train them. Iron sharpens iron. And that's a very free east in the middle. Pops it up. Modiano just keeps the good times going by chasing that all the way down. Modiano back to east. East dumps it back. This is nice, quick play. That was actually Joshua to Tyler. Tyler to McHale. Tyler East to McHale. Connor McHale, I should say. And then Connor McHale, he's looking right back for him. Two big bodies and stolen away. PJ still got a little bit of that spark that he used to set Europe on fire with. All right, Gentle. Chance to come back, landed the clan. He's looking at PJ saying, would you just go deep so I can send this hawk? And the clan is having to pull out of that one. Nice reaction. You could see Andrew Hillman was coming in hoping to get that D. The clan back to de Moulinaire. And very understandably calls a timeout. Things are tight, things are tense, and Gentle want to get a break back. Every point counts at this level, and there's not that many between them right now, so keep it right here to stay with the action. It is Clapham 11, Gentle 9.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God, how they do it! Hoe lang hebben we nog? 17 minuten. Kom, 17 minuten. Dan een beetje zo'n pre-workout smeren. Sneller die bloed, hè? Take someone, boys. Take someone shout.
And we are back. Peter Jan de Moulinaire calling the experience, the veteran timeout. PJ to his friends. Oh no, not that giant fecker again to his enemies. It's Clapham set up. Everything they do is precise. Everything is something they've drilled time and time again. And there's Declan. He wanted to send that flick hook all point long. He does, but they time it to perfection. Chased down by Zoo Arts, and that's a break for Gentle. 11-10. Over an hour into the game, they kept going. They kept working. They're rewarded with their first break. They need 2 more to win the game. Don't forget. Clapham started on offense, but great work. Laser shot as well. It's given out to people for throwing hucks that were very clearly trying to catch up to their receiver rather than lead them. That, I mean, if some people can do it. we have another look here. You can see the clan turns, sees the man he wants, the flying form of Aaron Vlega, or sorry, Benjamin Zuarts. Benjamin Zuarts taking it down. He's actually the co-president of Belgium Ultimate from Mont Saint-Hubert. He's played with Mooncatchers, Jet Set, Gentle, Flying Penguins, Blackbirds. I wonder if he means the San Francisco Blackbirds. That'd be very impressive if he did. Winning gold at European Indoor and Outdoor this year with our national team. That's obviously a note from last year, but a very big deal. He's the co-president of the Belgian National Federation. If I understand Belgian politics right, that's one of 17 presidents you have, right? Mikhail. The OE. And there's the wind-up and big throw right out of the hands of McInerney. And for the second time today, Joshua East spreads his wings, claps them down for the score. Strange, I concede that's a dick move, but I like that. As opposed to the... Maybe it's because I'm short, I don't like the little hand on the knee thing. Ian McInerney's very good at Ultimate, isn't he? Do you even know there was a Maine, or Portland in Maine? Everybody's always talking about that other one in Oregon. Well, he's doing those fishermen proud. So, yeah, they go for it again. That's what I wanted to know. Is he gentle in position there? So watch. There's Charlie Buck coming up to put the force on. He's going to force sideline. No, he's not. He's going to force just all the way downfield. That's just a straight up force. Almost a de facto cup, but with pick-up assignments. It's a very interesting way to approach setting up your opponent. Boomalel. Back in. Cuts down the line. And that's a big arcing one all over the top. How on earth managed to get that free, Sebastian Mones? But he did. Brilliant shot over the top. And that's what I mean when I'm saying I think Clapham are starting to get a little bit found out here. So, not in a bad way. Gentle are starting to unravel the mystery of this defense, recognize how to overload their attention on one side and just send one cutter in space and hit them. We know Gentle have the throws to do that kind of stuff, especially going with the wind at their backs. But I think Clapham are taking an exercise to the extreme and just relentlessly drilling this one defensive look so that they can pull it out as a weapon in games. We will see. Maybe this is just how they like to play defense going forwards. Declana. About 12 minutes left in regulation. 12-11 the score, gain of 15. Got to think of the rate these teams are going. It's going to be a game of 15 regardless. There's a lot of pressure. Turning down Hillman. Able to get it down the line in the end. Thinks about a deep shot, not for too long, just sends it, but it's not going to float. Trying to find Modiano. Just watching it go into the ground. David Novak also in the backfield to Shepard. Oh, might go back. Seems like there was a bit of contact on that throw. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the call. So it goes back into the hands of Henry Brooking. It's got McHale in front of him. You're going to think it's going to be an isolation on McHale, or he clears straight away. A nice little quick move as Hillman comes in. Andrew Hillman. Modiano He's come back under. Hillman goes down the line and is fed. Oh, you shouldn't really be getting that off. Gentle got to tighten up a little bit in that position. Back around to McInerney. Across to East. Back to McInerney. Leads McHale. Two people cut at the same time, Brooking and East. He actually manages to get it off to Joshua East by cutting back with a little bit of a 7. So what would be a fatal mistake for most teams in front of the end zone, Clapham turn into an advantage. That's got to be frustrating. Oh, big layout! But it's still rescued. You want to talk about frustrating. How about that? You put your body on the line and Andrew Hillman erases your efforts regardless. And then he collects that one just about above your head, floats it in and gets the assist at the end of the day. Relentless. Excellent work by Brooking to get free. So much of that was short space attacking. After the turn on the huck, but it was a fouled huck. That is tough. I'm not entirely sure who got that layout block. Huge reaction block. That's why you got to catch your D's, and then look at how quickly Clapham come right back and attack you. He's basically, as soon as he's finished his slowing down steps, he's stepping into the throw. Excellent stuff. And 13-11, semi-final of Spring Invite. It's going to be an intense game. Brooking letting that go. You got to bend it off. And again, Clapham, that might have even been called offside. But I thought Gentle, a little bit of a jokesters, should we say. So I wouldn't have been surprised to see that happen. Thinking about the deep shot immediately. Don't go for it. And away. And centers it back into the middle. Losing a lot of yards. There's a huge hammer over the top. They're looking for the space and finding it perfectly. Those are the gaps that Clapham seem to be leaving by committing so much to covering the immediate under space. That's a nice little throw through. Great feed on the front zone of the end zone. Gentle looking more comfortable with every offensive passage in this game. I was saying a lot about I was quite impressed with Henry Brooking. I would say on the Gentle side in this again. So I suppose more my shortcomings. But DeForce, who I believe got that goal, has been very impressive in this game. That is Peter-Jan DeForce, so or Pierre-Jan, sorry. He's only 16. And apparently he started playing in 2015 when he was much younger than that. 8. Let's just double check, make sure I got that right. Yep. Jakim Hrušák. Hrušák's great. We all know Hrušák's great. But Pierre-Jan DeForce, he's been getting involved in key moments. And this is about as physical, about as intense as games are going to get on the European scene in the run-up to EUCF. And he's proven to be quite DeForce out on the pitch. No, I didn't want to praise him just to make that pun. It was just a happy accident that happened afterwards. I am genuinely very impressed with that young man. That's another great young talent that the very, very wonderful Gentle youth program has produced. So now the claps for defense come up. They bring a fantastic sideline everywhere they go, and there, he's got to say that's a turnover. After Hillman doesn't normally make those drops, they go for the break immediately, and it's all tied up at 13s. Unlucky for some, but if you're Belgian, you're feeling good. And Wolf Oosterling lets out a howl. We have another look. Great pressure. I'm gonna give a lot of credit to the pressure on the force from Lander de Clan. And then just pick it up. One pass offense. Score. Get it in there. Now we're all tied up. Things are getting very exciting. A little bit spicy down here. Rose Cotton, who's the one to quickly pick that up and throw it in. And you don't get a lot of glory if you're a D-line player, but Rose Cotton, want to make sure we shout his name out. He's been working very hard. He has 2 assists so far in this tournament. That makes it 3. It's about putting in the constant effort and every now and again You create your own luck, really. That's what I'm saying here. Pros Croydon, 36 years old, so very experienced, but then showing the breadth. Wasn't I just talking about DeForest, who's 16? There's an entire role deconic. Sorry. There's an entire role deconic between their ages of Cotton and DeForest. Well, deconic, the gentle player who's 20, in case you were wondering. I'm not sure who that chewing is on the side of. Gentle have bricked a lot of their pulls, and I don't think that's a tactic. It's just something that seems to be happening to them. Coming up to the brick mark. Oh, Joshua East. The whole crowd wanted him to send that, and instead they go under, looking for Brocking. He can't collect. Hits the dirt. Gentle. Late in this game, Van de Wey with a chance to lead his team. Declana. There's going to be a call. I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Moriano and Declana just having a bit of a chat. So Moriano's arguing he gets to catch up. Do you remember that whipped flick hook you saw about 5-6 points ago? What do you reckon? You reckon that's going to happen again? Declana taps it down. Moriano immediately switches his force to not let that off. Van de Wey wants somebody in the middle. It's a lot of hard work to get there. It's just a flat 2-5, static stack, sending single cutters out. Big shot, 3 Gentle all down there to take the lead, and Declana gets it! It could have been any one of them, but it was that man himself, the 22-year-old, with the 14th point and the first lead of the game for Gentle. Just listen to him. That's a big deal in Belgium. That's a fantastic shot. There you go. Clapham, they want to just grind you, work you, take away all the unders that they can. Fine. This late in the game, Gentle have pushed, prodded, and found those gaps, and you got to say the offensive holds are looking easier with each passing point. 14-13 to the boys from Ghent. We've got 3 minutes left in regulation, so no matter how this game goes, we are getting a game to 15. Hold up. And this is a big one for the D-line. I don't imagine that they're going to be able to get the turn. It would be crazy if this game ended on a 3-point run by Gentle. Very cathartic, I imagine, for the Belgians. They're putting out some big name players and hoping to shut them down. See what they can get done. Big pull. De Moulinaire. Also a brick. That technically never came back in. They could take this from way up. I think they're just going to go with a brick, though. Yeah. Looks like the lonely walk from Mikhail to the centre of the pitch. I think I see my friend Benji down there. Oh yeah, that's him next to Steph. Shout out to the LTTV, Tarpaulins. Huge layout! Fantastic grab by East. Mikhail made him work for that, but East isn't afraid of a little hard labour. Neither are Gentle. Somehow that stays in the hands of Clapham. I don't know how Declana didn't come up with it. So watch this. There's the leading pass. Better work. Declana tries to get in. Modiano somehow holds on to it. That Declana-Modiano matchup. Very exciting. For my money, 2 of the better players on these teams. And these are 2 teams with a lot of very, very good players. Better work shutting down that up the line. They're just constantly generating this up the line again. The under, so you commit to try and stop the around, and then they burn up the line. They're kind of hitting both of them fairly effectively. Modiano across the Mikhail. Oh, that time on East just shows what I know. East kept going under that time. Instead of switching to an up-the-line cut, Modiano wants to pop it, and it's rough. Lots of pressure. Do you give credit to Crane again? I think you do. Forces Modiano to throw that a bit hasty. He winds up throwing it on the inside. Gentle with the disc. With a chance. Can they do it? Hammer over the top immediately. They're not messing around anymore. There's the pop into the middle. Demula now. Cross. This is incredible stuff from Gentle. Lost 15-11, but had a stronger second half yesterday when they played. These two teams played in the pool. 14-13 up now. They were 13-12 down, remember. Demula goes down the line. Doesn't want that deep shot. There, Clapham, Frogs lurking in that space. So they just got to keep grinding at that. Pop-off effectively made that cut a loss, but... And there's the shot deep. Two Clapham people in the way, looking for all the marbles! Getting nothing. So Modiano able to earn that one back into Crane. He's a little bit hurt. I think that looks like he's aggravated something himself. Ooh, hamstring. Oh, okay. Well, look, this isn't the tournament to get injured on. An understandable decision, but Modiano just holds position really effectively, doesn't give it up. Look, how's that for spirit for you, you know? But he was just not going to give up that position. Gets the block on Lando Decano, one of the best receivers in the continent, right? So delivering everything we wanted. There's the call for once more. Are they quoting Shakespeare? I mean, they're English, so you have to assume so. You speak that language, you accidentally quote Shakespeare. He wrote so many things. What light by yonder window breaks? Is it the sunset? On Clapham Spring Elite Invite title hopes? Probably not. Let's see if they can work it all the way down the pitch. 14-13 to Gentle. Game to 15. There's that sweeping cut straight across. Modiano falls down. So Gentle doing a good job of limiting options. Then McHale. Okay, things starting to get maybe a little bit slippy out there. McHale finds gap in the middle to East. Sets one up and rips it. I was not expecting to see that, but I was expecting if he did go, Brooking's going to be on the other end. He's having the game. He's having himself a game. I think that makes it 2 assists, 3 goals for Henry Brooking, which makes him involved in at least a third. Nice throw by Joshua East. Joshua East also with that. That makes it his 3rd assist. So he's been involved in 6 of them so far. Not bad. Young men coming to the fore. Henry Brooking, Joshua East, fantastic performance. Still plenty to go. Wolf Oosterlink on the other side has been really, really good as well. So this is the big moment. 14-14, Universe Point. Who do you fancy? Okay, it's hard with the resolution, but it looks like it's a pretty earnest Modiano, Davies, McHale staying out there. That's Hillman, Dan. Like, you gotta leave Brooking out there, right? I mean, after the game he's been having? How do you not? That Ogden? Yeah. Strong line. I'm not sure if I said Joshua East, but Joshua East there on the far right. Universe Point. The big kahuna. And isn't that interesting? After a near entire game of throwing it sideline, our half, they go with the big earnest pull to set up Universe Point. I think that proves the point I was trying to make. What was that, Lorcan? Who knows, Lorcan? It's been a long day. So here come Gentle. They have the disc. All they need to do is take their time. I mean, it almost looks FSU-ish at times, but this is match defense against a 3-4. That stall count is getting high. There's going to be a foul called on the mark on Brooking, uncontested. Oh, no, he's shrugging his shoulders, which looks a lot like the uncontested. So, you know, you could do me a favour there. Let's boom out with the disc in hand. Samir Mbumalo. He's played for 10 years, hometown. Ghent, he's only 21 as well. I've watched that guy come up through the Belgian under-17s, under-20s, under-24s. Obviously on that team that took silver last year on the under-24 Belgian side. Oh, that is a close run affair. I think Charlie Butt would have wanted a little piece of that. Oh, somebody's coming off. That was Harry Ogden who just came on. I think possibly to replace Henry Brooking. No, Henry Brooking's on the far side. Who's that who just came off? East is still on there. Ogden, McHale, Hillman. Is that Modiano? Might have been Modiano. I mean, I can see the other 6 lads. Unless he's in the deep space. Look, Leuven is not the place to get injured. May is not the month to get injured. So don't force it. And away. Oh, and he's forced to go over the top. That was very creative. Really nice stuff. And Gentle taking full advantage, screaming down the pitch now. Wouldn't mind them getting off that sideline, but all that matters is they get into the end zone. Van de Vey keeping it conservative for now. But for how long? Big cuts under. Van de Vey has Boomlal unmarked as East tries to occupy the open space for a little while. You can see he's just hanging out, stopping any serious downfield movement. And at that point, you can't sit there. You can't do that anymore. You've got to either get the disc and punish them by cutting to the break side, catching it there and throwing an easy break, or just clearing out. Bend away. That's better. Boomlal takes off, but tries to cover the open space. That disc looks to be going high, but so is the Gentle receiver. Really nicely done. Osterlink shoots! Scores back corner! Incredible scenes! And I thought Sebastian Mons was just going to keep going until he got back to Ghent. 15-14. Gentle get a little bit rough with the Frogs. Look, I'm going to be real. Clapham were playing with their food. And the food bit them back. But that's what these tournaments are about, trialing things, checking yourself so you don't wreck yourself later in the season. What a fantastic matchup. I think Gentle really learned how to play against the Clapham pressure, remembered who they were with their offensive style, their panache. They just have something that's just so uniquely them. And I'm a big fan of it. It was getting really stifled early, but it came back in. I would say I thought quite a spirited game as well. A couple Gentle bids at times. You're like, all right, those could be cleaner, but you know, Clapham weren't afraid of a little bit of argy-bargy themselves, and it did seem very spirited, of course, right at the end, kind of going down. Modiano immediately helping him. That's what the sport is all about. That and top quality ultimate, and that's exactly what we've brought you today. So you are welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got another day of action coming up tomorrow with some semi-finals, the finals and the bronze medal games, so a lot of determining of points, positioning still to happen, a lot of high quality action still to happen. In that final will be Gentle, so I don't think anybody really expected that, but you got to get ready for it. Congratulations to the men from Ghent, commiserations to the Bullfrogs from London. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lorcan Murray on behalf of myself, our wonderful crew, Ulti TV, Solid Sport and the EUF. We will see you tomorrow. Next catch time, same catch channel.
been down, down, down. I've been down, so down, and now I'm done. I'm aiming for the sky. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm aiming for the sky. Everyone got stories, so let's start listening. Let the rain wash away. Let's see